Hi there. Today I'm talking about 6 ways to sail through any financial challenge. Keep watching. Hello there, my name is Jessica. I'm a broadcaster, fitness enthusiast, biker girl, and a voice actor as well who resides in Accra, Ghana. Now today I want to talk about 6 ways to sail through any financial challenge or perhaps crisis. So we know that COVID-19 took a lot of us by surprise. We saw it as a far distant land problem, and suddenly it became our own. People lost their jobs, there were pay cuts, left, right, center, and a lot of us were left in financial limbo. And so if that was you, and you are still sort of trying to figure out a way to make it through this current pandemic financially, then you're tuned into the right video. I'm going to be sharing with you 6 ways that I used to sail above the financial crisis. Stay tuned, let me share it now. Point number 1. So the first thing I did when COVID first hit and, my job was impacted, was sort of assess where my money is, understand where my money is, and do a net worth computation, to be honest, to see how much money I had in investments, how much money I had in my bank account, how much money I had in cash on me, etc. Just having that big picture of where I was financially was going to help me to be able to plan adequately for what was to come. And so tip number 1 will be to evaluate, your finances. Take a closer look at what you have, what you don't, and work it up from there. Tip number 2. What you want to do is to reevaluate your expenditure. Really important, because suddenly, if you go back to your monthly budget, you would realize that there are lots of things that show up on that budget that you don't actually need. So for instance, you would realize that maybe you subscribe to some TV channel every month where you pay X amount of CDs. You could, for instance, cut that bill. Let's say you had some other activity that your family likes to engage in, weekly. Maybe take your kids to the playground. Well, in this case, it was COVID, and so that wasn't going to be possible anyway. You're saving money there. Let's say you wanted to, just even get your hair done, or you had a habit of getting your hair done twice a week, or you went to the barber's twice a week. You could begin to reduce, the number of times that you visit. Just anything you can do really to sort of cut down on your expenditure and help you save more. Next, when you're done reevaluating your expenditure, what you need to do is to create a lean budget. Now, this is really, really important because it helps you strip your whole expenditure bare, down to the barest minimum. Bare bone, as some people would like to call it. Okay, so once you realize that there were certain things that you were spending a lot of money on, a lot of time on, that weren't necessarily needs but wants, once you're able to identify those things, you can just cut them out of the budget to make sure that whatever still remained on that budget were things that you absolutely needed to tick off or to get done. So for instance, if you rent your home that you live in, or if you pay a mortgage, that's an expense that you can't do much about. It stays on the budget. Water, electricity, your utilities, of course, food. And even in terms of food, you could be saving a little bit there, because for instance, you may be someone who likes to shop in the big supermarkets where you have a cheaper alternative if you should go to, say, another outdoor market near you. And so that would be like another way to sort of cut your budget down to the barest minimum. That way you're going to be saving more, and you're going to be stretching out the little money that you do have already to last a little longer than it ordinarily would. And my next tip is obviously a winner. Essentially, it's just trying to find like alternative streams of income. Now think about it. Maybe you lost your job. Maybe you got a pay cut. Suddenly you're not earning as much as you used to. How or what are you going to be able to do that will sort of bring you back up to where you used to be, or at least support you a little bit more to bring in more money than you're currently earning? And you can think hard, deep, and far, just to bring in ideas. Now, for instance, is there like a little skill that you've always kept under your belt that you can begin to offer services to people for in exchange for money? Can you do something online for someone that wouldn't require necessarily for you to be there in person, that would earn you income? You just need to be able to rack your brains a little bit and figure out exactly how you can bring in some extra income. And so it's important that you look for, multiple streams of income, or look at other ways that you can bring income to the kitty. My next tip talks about seeking out help, or seeking out helpers, people who could come to your aid in one way or the other, and didn't have to be necessarily financial. But for instance, when COVID hit, maybe you still had to go to work whilst your kids were home from school, because obviously they're not being allowed to go in. Would you be able to get, say, grandma to come and take care of them? If grandma is no longer alive, maybe you could get a family member who you didn't have to necessarily pay to watch the kid. For instance, can you seek advice from a financial advisor as a form of help? Free advice, on how to proceed, what you needed to do to sort of keep your family going, to manage your monthly budget for your home better, etc. That's a way of help that you could be looking at. So it doesn't necessarily have to be monetary. Help can come in different shapes and forms, and you need to start to look at ways in which people can sort of assist you. Because after all, everybody needs somebody. So really, just looking for people to sort of help you navigate your financial waters, for want of a better word, would go far. And finally, what you also want to do is to reevaluate your spending priorities. And there are certain things that, for instance, you can let off until much later before you come back into it. This, of course, will help you basically put off that expenditure until it's absolutely critical. So you want to reevaluate your spending priorities, and those that aren't like an absolute must or need, you can move to the bottom of the list. This is really short. I hope it helps somebody out there. Just really quick ways, surefire ways to help you sail through any financial crisis. Now, as a recap, let's go through it again. I'm saying 1, know your net worth, or know where your money is. 2, reevaluate your expenditure. 3, create a lean budget. Seek out other forms of alternative income, reevaluate your spending priorities, and identify a helper or helpers who can sort of help you along this financial crisis. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, don't forget to smash the like button. I'd love it if you'd subscribe as well. Turn on all notifications so you get a notification whenever I post. And share this video as well so other people can cash in, and it could help someone else out there. My name is Jessica. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye for now.